As a keen detectorist for the past 25 years, I would like to share with you the joy of metal detection and help you go back in time. So there, Dad. Good to be able to experience firsthand how our ancestors used to live. So what I've decided to do is make this video and to introduce to those of you who've not done it before what sort of things you're more likely to find. What I've got in front of me here are the common elements, the sort of thing that you'll find quite prolific in fields. So it would be a good idea to know what they are, because believe me, at the end of the day, if you don't know, you'll probably throw them away. Okay, now we'll start with buckles. This is a 13th century buckle. Now, with the 13th century, buckles were highly cherished and they hated losing them, so they're not so common. But when we get to something like this, the 15th century buckle, they were just mass produced because they were so popular. Buckles became a status symbol. The higher up the scale you were, the more elaborate the buckle. This particular buckle is a strap end buckle. Would have probably carried a knapsack or something like that. This is a double D buckle. Now double D buckles are extremely common. See the patina? It's a lovely buckle. There are absolutely hundreds of different styles. They would be, because they're all used for dress accessories. I mean, if you could imagine when that was new, that would have been highly coated. Would have had lovely colour to it, sheen. This is a sword buckle or a dagger buckle. It would have been suspended from the eye. Buckles have their own stories. Musket balls. Now these go right back to Henry VIII's time, but more common when you find them, you probably find them from the Civil War period, from about the 17th century. Quite often they're all misshapen when they've hit things, probably trees. Roman coins, if I can pick them up. Blooming things, that's it. Now these come up, when you get a good Roman site, they come up by the handfuls. These, they're grots. Now they're called grots because you've got a job to see anything on them. As you can see, just make a head there. Yeah? Nothing on that side, look. But most of the Roman coins you do dig up are in this condition. Except for this one. I haven't quite identified this one yet. I'll be in my book. Let's have a look. That looks like mercury on the back, I'm not sure. I think it's a geezer, but I've got to check it out. This is a Sesterces. Gratian, yeah, Gratian III. Lovely colour. A bit worn. And the god is a Pax. Yeah, it's Pax. Now with Roman coins, they tell a story, like the newspaper of the day. And now we come up to some brooches. This is a Roman brooch. This is a T-shaped brooch. Not very often they come up with a pin on, and the suspension at the top's broken, as you can see. But these would have had enamel all over them when they were around at the time. This is the 3rd century. Again, this is a 3rd century Roman brooch. See, no pin, no suspension. That's how they usually come out. Over that way they come out in bits. There's another one, look, very old, battered. But I got an idea this is a knee brooch, because it's got a foot at the bottom. But if you've got to get into the hobby, it's best to get these books and you can look at them yourself, and then you can tell me what they are. This is an implement. I think it's a cosmetic tool. It's probably, I know it's Roman, but it's probably a nail cleaner or something like that. A bit thick to be anything else. This is a 17th century coin weight. This is a ring. You get lots of these rings coming out the ground. All brass. It's not a hallmark in there, by the way. This is a brass ring that I cleaned up. I actually wear this one. Mind you, it makes my finger go a bit green, but still looks good. This is one of my favourites. This is a book clasp. I love them. I don't know why. Look at the patina on it, it's gorgeous. This is 13th, 14th century. And this was a ring we found, which we thought was an olive to start with. But I looked inside it when we got home and cleaned it, and it turned out to be a 1902 farthing. This is a trader's weight. That's 19th century. Doesn't look much, but it is. This is just a collection of everything I've had over the years. Although this is nothing really. I mean, what I've got in my collection, I couldn't get in the shed at the moment. I never clean any of my finds. I always leave them as they are. So I think when you've cleaned them up, you've taken years off them. And that's what gives them, when you get a nice patina, you've got a lovely age. But you must watch out for bronze disease. When you get that, keep it separate from any other bronze stuff you've got around. That's a jet in there. Little coin weights, rings. I think, you name it, I think I've had it from every single period. I don't know what some of these things are either. I'm still learning it. I've been doing it for 25 years and I'm still learning. Up the top, that's crotchal bells, or cottrell bells. They're 17th century. And this is just a few of my pennies. And if you look closely, you'll see in here, you'll see some oyster shells. Now I'm always looking for oyster shells, because they're always a good indication of a Roman site, because they're a main diet. And if you find oyster shells in the field, then you've got a good chance of finding Roman. And clay pipes, everything there tells me it's been inhabited wherever I am. Lead. Got no idea where it comes from sometimes. It seems to follow us around. But it's a good sign. If you find lead on your site, then you'll know it's been occupied by some period. It's a bit of a bugger really, because you get lots and lots of little pieces, you're forever digging lead up. But like I say, it's a good sign, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, tomorrow, no doubt we'll find a lot more lead, because we're going to the rally. Now when we're at the rally, have a good look around and see what people are using, what machines they're using, and what equipment they're having. So, until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. What a glorious day for a rally, eh? Absolutely ideal. Rallies have been designed so everybody will enjoy themselves. It's great for families, especially if you've got kids and that they can get out in the fresh air.
So how long have you been detecting?
Well, it's a family unit, about 20 years I suppose.
Yeah.
And what's I do with this other one?
Put it in there. If it's no good, just leave it in the box and we'll throw it out when we get home.
So do you travel all over, or are you pretty local?
No, we just actually come from London. Come up from the East End today. Have a nice little ride down. Any excuse to get into the country for the day, mate, you know how it is.
tone come up when you get a particular signal. But this instrument will tell me whether it contains iron or what. So I just look at the reading on the computer, and it tells me that it's rubbish.
All right.
Otherwise, I'm only looking for the decent stuff. As the idea of the machine is to see that 54. You got it? Right?
Yeah.
That tells me it's ferrous material.
All right.
If I put my ring, it gives me plus 13.
Okay. Right.
Whereas if it's iron, it'll come up with a negative number.
Mhm.
All right.
Right.
And if I make several passes on it, it'll gradually give me a graph as to what it thinks it is. It'll disappear, as you can see now.
I see.
But, well, that's the plus 16, the ring. That's what we're looking for. Anything in the negative we ignore. Got a lot of area to cover.
Found anything today?
No, well, I only found a pin off a rake or something or other.
Bit of medieval iron. Or bronze, should I say, bronze.
You found anything else today?
No, that's first thing.
One thing to remember though, when you're on a rally site, always take your stuff, pick your stuff up and put it in your bag and take it back. Because if you don't know what it is, there's experts there to tell you straight away. I mean, I made that mistake when I started. Looking back on it, I know I've thrown some good stuff away, brooches especially.
So at this point, have you got any ideas of what you found?
No idea. Could be anything.
So what sort of detector are you using?
It's a laser B1. Very good detector.
So what sort of depth will your machine go down to?
Well, it can go down to 9 inches or more than that. Depends what's there, what the signal is. I found a hammered coin for a small farthing, head with the first farthing, and that's about a quarter of an inch. That was down about 4 or 5 inches. Just depends how lucky you are, what the soil's like, what the signal is.
Do you find that with damp soil that you get less signal?
I've not, no, I've not found that. And some soils are better than others. It's like a clingy clay soil. I mean, this is obviously damp after the rain we had last night. Persevere, try on. Okay.
In fact, the rain is a detector's friend really, because when it rains hard it pushes the coins and artifacts closer to the surface.
So what detector are you using?
Bandido 2.
How do you find that?
Very good, yeah, normally. That's what it is. A bit of rubbish. Yeah, it's very good. It's got a big plate on it. Big disc on there, very good. Goes down 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah. Do you find that there's quite a bit of stuff on the edge of the fields where the tractors have raked everything up? And they've sort of
edge of the field, you mean?
yeah, at the edge when it's all been sort of dumped
yeah,
down.
you can never tell. I personally go for a bit of low ground after a bit of, on the bottom of a hill personally, but stuff gets washed down,
Yeah.
Tend to go that way.
Have you made any finds today?
Doesn't always work that way, of course. I mean, a lot of it's pure luck, isn't it? Same as anything else.
Yeah. You found anything interesting today?
Not today, no.
No.
A couple of bullet heads.
Yeah?
That's about all today, I'm afraid. Another good thing about rallies is meeting people. I've met absolutely hundreds of friends from all over the country, in fact all over the world.
I noticed you're filming in a dip here. Is there a strategy to that?
Sorry?
You're filming in a dip of the land here. Is there strategy behind that?
No, it's just I've come through this dip and there's quite a lot of iron around, so because there's a lot of iron there's a good chance that there was something here previously, so it's a good policy to have a route about amongst the iron and see if there is anything good there.
Right. So what's that tool you got there?
This is a pocket probe. It's basically like a very small metal detector. It's ideal to save you having to open the hole right up. If you've got something you're having a bit of trouble finding it, then that's handy for finding it actually within the hole.
And how do you find the spectrum detector?
Very good. I've not had experience with many other machines, but I've found once you actually get used to the spectrum as a machine and to the signals, it's quite a good machine for discriminating.
Have you found anything else today?
Only a small button, like a little like a cuff button, but
Have you got any idea how old that would be?
it's probably 18th century, I should think.
You think that is now?
It looks basically like an old plough shed, but rather than open the hole right up to get it out, I'll leave it as is, because otherwise I'd have to disturb so much more ground that it's really not worth it. So.
Your pride and joy?
Make it out at all?
Yes. What would that be?
It's a Charles half crown, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles first.
You found that today?
Yeah.
How deep was that?
Virtually on the surface. Inch.
So that's your find for the day then?
Hope so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Well
dead chuffed
pleased.
with that, yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
And do you think there's going to be more? Because I noticed you're filming, you're detecting on the edge of the field here.
Well, with the road going through and the tree lines, which look quite old, it looks like there's great possibility of stuff being here before this hedge was actually put in. So that's why we're doing it.
Right.
And Paul's got another one, so
Yeah, two in the same area. Elizabeth I shilling.
Nice.
So could it be part of a hidden hoard?
Who knows? So do you work as a team together?
drink together.
Drinking buddies.
No, if we meet up, we don't go out all the time, but if we meet up, we tend to sort of stay close to each other, compare signals. It's all part and parcel of it.
So you both got the same machine, or you got?
No. This is quite an old one actually. This is 10 years old.
Right.
But, it seems to function all right.
Yeah. So
on the surface.
with you comparing notes, does that help?
Oh, absolutely.
It
Yeah.
does,
Comparing the
yeah.
signals.
Yeah, because this is a brand new machine as well, so I'm still uncertain about some of its functions. So it's nice to know someone who's got a machine they know, and we compare signals.
Hmm. And do you find that technology has moved on an awful lot?
Well, not really. I mean, certainly with the newer components, they've gone to smaller boards using surface mount technology, but the actual basic technology of detecting metals hasn't really moved on at all.
So now you can discriminate a lot easier.
Well, yes, there are certain parts of the circuitry they've improved on, but really and truly they're all working the same. This works exactly the same as that one there.
Yeah.
We're what, 11 years difference.
Yeah.
So what machines that you've got there?
This was originally a Gold Mountain, which was an American machine. Not very many of them came into the country.
This one is called a Lightning by Red Heat.
And what sort of price were you looking at for?
This was £450.
Wow.
And they're custom made, you can't buy them off the shelf.
What makes it stand out from the others?
The fella that makes these was originally metal detecting on the River Thames, was a lot of iron, rusty nails and whatnot, and there wasn't a machine capable of making the finds. So he built his own machine. Other people showed interest in it. He built a few more and a few more, and it snowballed from there. And I just wanted a machine with more depth capabilities and the lightness with the new technology now.
So how deep will yours go?
Well, it all depends on the size of the target, really. Today I'm finding stuff at 6-7 inches deep, but I've been told you can find coins to about a foot deep, but you've got to read between the lines, really, and it depends on soil conditions. There's a lot it depends on, but I solely brought it for the lightness of it, and it's a joy to use because it's so light.
I belong to a club actually in Stour Valley, which is Bournemouth area. Helped to run it, but I'm not on the committee now. I've done my bit.
And have you this? Is this an old machine, or is this one you've?
Well, I've upgraded each time, but I still like the 1220. The 1220 XD. I've got a laser too, but I very seldom use it.
And what's the purpose of the bag?
Pardon?
What's the purpose of the bag?
Well, we
on the detector.
On here?
Yeah.
Well, to stop the rain getting in when it rains.
All right. Have you found anything today?
Only 2 small Roman.
So that's quite that's an achievement in itself, really.
Well, possibly. In the other bag, I collect all the scrap, and we sell it and keep the money for charity.
So have you managed to raise much by doing this?
Well, £200 a year we donate.
Yeah.
Which is we also do like steam fairs. We have displays, and the lucky dip, guessing how much the musket balls weigh, and how many in a jar. So we raise money that way. It's going to a children's hospice this year, which is the club, not just me.
Where is it?
Do you know what era that one's from?
Pardon?
Do you know which era?
No, I haven't got a clue, quite honestly. I'm not that up with it yet. I'm still practicing playing, whatever. He's the expert, my mate over there. He's had 2 or 3 coins and a Roman key this morning as well.
Yeah.
So he's get him to come over and he'll show them to you.
How long have you been detecting?
Pardon?
How long have you been detecting?
I've only been at it about a year, I suppose. But I've had one fortunate find. I had a half noble a year ago, and that's what really got me interested in it. So.
Right.
And that was on the beach.
So you're interested in history anyway?
But
are you interested in history anyway?
Well, I'm getting more and more into it since I've been doing this.
It must bring it alive to you.
Pardon?
It must bring history alive when you find
things. Oh, it certainly
things.
does. It makes you realise what went on all those years ago when you take it all for granted, when you don't look into it. But no, it's thoroughly enjoyable. Alan, you want to show this gentleman what you found?
Yeah, I just found these.
Pardon?
Just found these. I've just been over there to wash them.
You just found them?
In that hole there, look.
Oh, Roman brooches again.
Oh, wow.
2 of those I've got. Roman key, which I take as a Roman key, a Napoleon coin.
You've been busy today then?
Yeah, I've got a Roman.
And you've got that little baby one somewhere,
Roman coin.
same as I got.
Here somewhere. There it is.
That one's a bit clearer, I think, if anything.
Yeah.
So you're responsible for your friend getting into this?
Well, he used to do it before, but he didn't have many places to go, you see.
Only on a very, very poor scale. I did it with one of those Tandy sort of £70 things to start with, and it just picked up coins off the set. Oh yeah, there's 2 more there.
Yeah, and I think that's a Celtic one, I'm not sure. That one.
He certainly has a lot more luck than I do.
Yeah. So is there a strategy that you've got to make the finds?
well, do a pattern really.
Yeah.
What we've done this hedge along here. We've come out for about 50 foot, and we just go backwards and forwards, all the way down the hedgerow, right down to the far end.
Right.
Backwards and forwards all the time, so we're covering the whole ground, rather than go from one end of the field to the other like this, most of them are doing. We cover a whole piece of ground in one go, and very profitable.
So do you keep your finds or do you sell them on?
No, I'm keeping them at the moment. I've just taken all my stuff that I found over the last 3 or 4 months to Winchester Museum.
Right.
To Sally Worrell, the Hampshire Finds Officer. She was most impressed. I found gold rings, a few gold coins, silver coins. I think it's 16 silver gold coins I found. 2 Roman seal rings, which they used to stamp the documents with.
Right.
Medieval brooches and other things. She reckons it's going to take her 3 weeks to go through it, to check it. 3 whole weeks.
Right. You must be quite chuffed with that then.
I am pleased, very pleased, yeah. I mean, you find something and it makes your day, even if you only find 1 coin, it makes your day, doesn't it?
That's right. So you looking forward to this afternoon?
Yeah, I believe there's tokens this afternoon, isn't it? But I'd much rather find the Roman stuff than the coins.
Yeah. Would that be off?
303 bullet.
So you reckon to be responsible for that?
Probably soldiers in World War II, I expect.
Yeah.
Practicing outdoor manoeuvres.
What's the detector using?
It's a Sabre, Sabre Plus, Super Sabre Plus, I couldn't remember the name of it.
And how old's that?
It's about 13 years old now.
Yeah.
But, he's still performing well.
And no plans to change it?
No, not until I find some gold status. Or a hoard or something, right?
Yeah.
I wonder who's found the mostest.
Yeah. You found threepence.
Oh, I've got something, haven't I? Thank you for digging. Gives right back, unfortunately. I must buy the biggest possible spade.
Yeah, this
So
is too narrow.
Oh, that's far too small.
You met Roy, didn't you? You met Roy, didn't you?
Met who?
Roy.
Who's he?
Janet's husband.
Oh, right.
Well, he made this one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a clever chap.
About 20 years ago.
Uh-huh. Yeah, very good.
So your husband and wife team?
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
So do you get to share the detector?
Yeah, that's right.
Take it in turns.
Sato make that I'm deeply happy. I got very, you can have this as well, right? It's a very nice livery button.
Oh, that's nice.
There is I've worked it out, wait a minute, it's that way around, there's a fox running across there.
Oh, look at that.
What is this for? What am I being videoed for?
Oh, no, I can see it now, running that way.
Star.
And you were here with your guarding this one.
I will guard it with my life. You guys take your ticket.
I'll
so
take
we know,
my 120.
Then we know that.
Yes, you know I'm the hammered Elizabeth. Hey, is that so happy? Wow. Oh, that's. Well, that's fantastic. That's the best so far, isn't it? Oh, that's nice. That's very, very nice.
The ends where the rivets went and that in there.
Well, that is beautiful.
It's nice, isn't it?
Love it when they come up that green colour. It's so beautiful.
It's one of those
rings
that we always find. And a little spindle well.
There's one over the top there. Oh, you can't even see it. Might clean up a little bit, but there's not a lot in there.
A little denari.
Make the head out. That way up, I think. See there?
Lovely. Oh, yes.
It's nice.
Yeah. Well, we'll be here till 5, so...
Okay. I shall see you later.
Something, isn't it?
We look
One
this afternoon.
in case I lose it.
It's nice, that little hand strap end, isn't it? I think it's what it is anyway.
God, I wish I was that young again. Especially metal detecting. I'll never forget my first machine. It was a big black seascope with a big shepherd's crook handle. By the end of the day, my wrist was really, really aching. Now look at these machines nowadays, absolutely fantastic. Just what we need.
What interesting finds you found so far?
Well, I found a gold posy ring, which dates to 15th century, which I was very pleased to find. It had an inscription around the outside with "La Fortune of Worlds," and that's going possibly into the Winchester City Museum or the Willis Museum. But that's my best find so far.
How does this make you feel about history?
Well, it's lovely to pick up something from the soil and immediately think the last person who touched this was that many years old, and especially with Roman coins and the like. And I think you learn more history in this hobby than you do in history lessons at school, which is quite something.
I suppose you have to do an awful lot of research when you find something.
Yeah, immediately when I get home after finding something, straight for the reference books and look it up, and it helps you learn these little extra bits about history.
Yeah, also basketball.
So how old do you reckon that is?
Oh, it's probably 17th century. Probably time of the Civil War or something. So yeah, it looks like it's hit something.
Yeah.
Bit out of shape, bit contorted.
It could have been someone's head.
Never know.
I see you bring your dog along. Is he for luck?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, he just sort of walks around and just keeps me company, really.
Yeah.
So,
Gets in the way.
yeah, that's it. Generally, he gets on people's nerves, but he's good as gold. He's my lucky emblem, I suppose.
So have you got a technique you recommend that works for you?
No. I've been doing it about, well, the first time I did it was about 20 years ago. And I broke the detector. And then you didn't know what you were finding. You most likely chucked away the most valuable stuff and kept the Georgian pennies, yeah?
Yeah.
There you go, look, it's iron, look. Plough shard. You see that? There. There you go. But basically today we have not got an awful lot of anything.
No?
No, which is
No tokens?
No, because I haven't looked for them. But that's a piece of lead. It, once it's cleaned up, might be a snake's head of some sort. But other than that, few buttons, as usual.
So what accessories do you carry?
One shovel, one pinpointer, one bottle of Coke, and that's about it, really.
And the booty bag.
Oh yeah, you've got to have a goods bag, because you have to take home everything that you collect. You're supposed to take away everything you collect.
Right.
And then you take it down and put it on the fines table, and then claim it back at the end of the day. On a rally anyway, not on a... And you fill your holes in.
Right.
Or else you get into trouble. They don't let you come again.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
Any ideas?
Just a button.
Oh.
Oh, you know them.
I haven't actually seen what tokens are yet. So.
Just 3 old pennies.
Alright. So you've been detecting long?
Yeah, quite well. A couple of years, and I first started a long while ago, and then gave it up, and then started again recently. Last couple of years.
So how many rallies have you been on?
About 4 or 5.
Because this is a one-day rally, there's not many displays around, but usually I go to rallies are weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes they're 3 days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And there's normally lots of displays around and a beer tent, and everybody gets together. But one-day events are still as interesting.
This is the first time I've been to a rally. I bought the detector 31st of this year, 31st of January, so it's the first time out. I said I'd never go to a rally, but no, it's good fun.
Looks like an expensive machine.
600.
So is it as good as it looks?
Sometimes.
Is the stubble causing a lot of problems today?
Yeah, not too bad.
No?
Yeah, it's quite soft stubble actually, so it's not too bad.
Do you have to change your technique at all to go for use it?
Yeah, I try and follow the path if I can. Don't want to put too much strain onto the sort of research area. I found one token and one Roman. 3rd, 4th century. It's one of the radiates type, I think.
So how does that make you feel? You know, when you find something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I feel it's
what do you think about? You know.
You just think the last person who touched that was some Roman soldier, probably. Yeah, it's amazing, really. That's the whole great failing of the hobby, I think.
So what other things you found in the past?
All sorts, really. Hammered coins, a few hammered silver, enamel badges, buckles, all sorts. Just a wide range, really. Normal stuff that you see in the magazines. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's see if we can find some more.
Yeah.
See if we can find gold this time.
Go for gold.
Can't believe this weather. Look at everybody out there. Wonderful. On the way here this morning, we passed a buzzard and it was actually eating a rabbit. I've never seen that before. I've been in the fields before. I've actually seen a stoat run past me feet. The wildlife comes out in abundance. See owls, beautiful birds.
How do you find this machine?
Interesting. It's the first time I've used, I suppose, a digital machine really. I did have a laser before, which is a much more simple machine to use, and the fact that it was a switch on and go. But this one, there's a lot more basically capability with it, so it means getting to know it and seeing what it can do.
What better way to learn about history than actually digging it out for yourself, especially young people, rather than sit in the classroom and actually get out and do it.
Oh, I found a token.
Oh, quite a collection in there.
Yeah.
Doing well, better than some today, I think.
I found a little thing like that. I'm not really sure what it is.
Interesting.
And that's a big livery button. Oh, there it is. It's a bit poor condition, but it might be quite interesting. And that's a big coin that says Queen Elizabeth. No, yeah, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and it's 1980.
Big one to lose.
Yeah. And that's, I think that's probably a dog on it, I'm not sure. And some buttons.
It's interesting to think that, you know, that in this one area there's such a wide history of stuff that's been lost.
When you go to a rally, you do need to take a good set of headphones with you.
Do you find advantage having that there and not on the...
Do I find?
An advantage having this on your chest instead on the detector?
Yeah, it makes this a lot lighter. Makes it slightly difficult when you're digging, but it's easier when you're searching.
So how long have you been together as a,
Us two.
as a team?
Well, we've only just started detecting since New Year.
Yeah.
We fancied it, so got her one and let her do it.
Right.
See how she's getting on. She enjoys it.
So you're the one that's tagging along then?
Oh, in the shoveler. Yeah.
Right, so you're Mick Tyrrell, the organiser of this event. Could you explain a little bit about what today's about?
Certainly, we had 199 people. Shame we couldn't have had the other one, but we've got 199 people here today detecting about 200 acres. Finds have ranged from Roman coins right through to Saxon, right up to the modern day, right up to a pound coin a few minutes ago. We've had a lot of fun. The weather was beautiful, there was snow on the ground. If you had the camera here yesterday, there was about 6 inches of snow everywhere across the ground. But
really?
Of course, yeah, we've had beautiful weather today, so somebody up there likes this. Probably because all the proceeds are going to the local church, the Lincoln Holt Church. In the last 3 years, we've raised just over £9,000. By the end of this year, I should think we'll have raised another £4,000. So that's £13,000 going to the church. So obviously somebody up there really does like us, and he's looking down on us and making sure that the church gets the money.
It's Sturmley Archer of a bikes, that's what I think it is.
Well, there's 3 letters there, there's SA and there's something else.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have known how to do this or do that. And it's brilliant. And this is such a small, close-knit area of people that you're bound to know someone who's going to be lucky. It's like knowing a lottery winner every week.
I started by making my own trowels, and then people wanted them. But I think really it's I get more enjoyment out of it, and don't get the profit out of it as one would hope to make me fantastically rich. It's the enjoyment of seeing everyone every week. People come up. Every time I go out, it's not a rally every week. You see people and they know you from all over the country, one end to the other. Fantastic.
So how do you find that the detectors has improved over the years?
Oh, marvellous. The meter identification has made things a lot better. Initially, years ago, I would have said the person buying a metal detector would never ever have made a profit. But now, meter identification, if you want to use a sophisticated machine in an old park, that's great. You can identify the ring pulls with the pound coins, with the old penny coins, but you're never ever 100% sure. You've got to dig that signal to actually find it.
Shove it up on there with that one minute.
What's the child's club? It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Right, mate.
How do you date that? Because the pattern's pretty regular, isn't it?
Trying to picture what it... No, yeah, any guesses, anyone? That's a new one on me. It's a back scratcher.
Big for an ear
Yeah, it's got. I mean, it's fairly old, isn't it? But it's
yeah, I think.
Got a nice bit of silver in amongst it. 1816. No, 1890.
Don't you reckon that is that a cog?
A cog of something that's modern, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I thought it was. It just looks a bit irregular for a cog.
Can't help you with that. But I can't help you with that either.
Nothing else on your god, I'm afraid.
You had a busy day.
What
there.
is it?
What's the little thing in there?
I don't know. I thought it was hammered.
Yeah, it's one I look at.
I've not seen one of those with a lug in it before either.
I thought it was as well. No, shame. But if you can pick that up, you've got no trouble. But that's a nice bit of silver, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a bag seal.
First of all, welcome to the pheasant plucking wagon, because this is what it is. Right, the tokens, we've got 100 tokens buried over in the field at the back there in stubble field. Everyone that finds one automatically wins a prize. It's normally a bottle of wine, box of chocolate, something along those lines, bottles of whiskey. As we speak, the time is coming on to 4:30. So we've got half an hour left, and there's about 10-15 tokens left. And I'm betting that all those will be gone. So I should think all 100 tokens will be found before the end of today.
And do you bury those as well?
Yeah, we bury them a couple of days before in the little plastic bags, so that everybody knows that they've found a token. And yeah, if they bring one in, they'll win a prize.
So tokens what, basically?
Oh, pre-decimal pennies mainly. Something that's fairly easy to find.
So that's what was Tudor buckle?
Yeah, a little Tudor one.
So that on a Roman coin?
Yeah, the Roman's a bit grossy, but then again they usually are.
That's quite a result for today, really.
Yeah, it makes a nice change to find something. But I've had a few blanks lately. Little Tudor buckle.
Oh, nice. Metal detectors is great fun, as you can see. I mean, all this has told me stories about itself. But to find out what they are, I need to research. So, what you need to do is get yourself sorted out with a few books. I mean, I've been collecting these books for years now, so I'm not an expert, but I know what I'm looking at. I mean, as you can see, I've got Roman books up here that tell me what all my Roman coins are. I've got books on rings, I've got maps, I've got books on thimbles, I've got books on everything. But there's two magazines that really are very, very good for the beginner and for the
the well-known detector, and that's the treasure hunter and the searcher. They are full of references and give you lots and lots of different ideas. They also give you club directories. There's two organisations, one is called the FID, Federation of Independent Detectorists, and the other one is the NCMD, which is the National Council for Metal Detecting. Both are very good organisations. The finds in this sequence have mostly been excavated in Dorset, but they represent a true picture of all the treasures you yourself can discover from all over Britain.